He has quirks. That's what he is. He's a quirky character, and even his throw has got quirks in it. He will be. James will be ready for him, but I think Mensur, just with his ability alone, James will think, I will beat him.
John Parr and Rod Study, commentators for our opening quarter-final.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Wayne. Well, here are the facts. One man is the world number 5, the other is the world number 31. One has 7 major titles, the other has never been beyond the major quarter-final. One has won 33 games on this stage. The other hadn't won a game ever at the Winter Gardens before this year. One man is James Wade, the other is Mensur Suljovic. Has Suljovic got any kind of a chance here, John?
Well, I actually believe he has a chance. I'm not saying I believe he'll win, but you know, I'd say you know, you've taken out Terry Jenkins and Gary Anderson. There's a lot of experience between those two players. Okay, and what we're saying is biggest obstacle is the experience of James Wade. So really, it's an argument that doesn't follow as to why he can't win.
Well, if you can beat the world champion, you can beat anyone. Even James Wade, who has a record bordering on the phenomenal at the Winter Gardens in Blackpool. Only Phil Taylor has won more matches. Wade has won 33 of his 41 matches. I say Phil Taylor's the only man to have won more. Phil Taylor has won 89
140
games at the Winter Gardens.
Just a phenomenal number of games. You dream of playing here 2 or 3 times if you're a player. If you're lucky.
125.
Well, so Mensur has 6 starts from 176 with which to try and hold his throw. James will see that as a bit of a mini opening. Could have done better.
Well, at least to find one trouble with his first 2 darts to afford an opportunity at double. Wade waiting on one of those Wade finishes. Has a reputation, John, James Wade, doesn't he, of numbers between 100 and 120 being pretty much the best in the business.
Well, I think it's part and parcel with his ability to punish. Double top.
81.
Yeah. Makes a face at that dart. It wasn't too good. It wasn't what he would expect of himself, but it is only the first leg.
Indeed. Nevertheless, I must confess I fancied him to nail double top off the back of that 101 combination. Anyway, Mensur now looking at double 18. We'll see him choose this. We'll see him choose double 14, no doubt, tonight. Idiosyncratic in every sense.
20. Danger required 20.
Early double trouble for the giant Austrian. Over the years, John, much has been made of James Wade's double 10 hitting, and a lot of people would ask the question, who would you want to try and hit a double for your life, and which one was it? A few years ago, nearly everyone I asked said James Wade double 10. He's not quite as reliable on it anymore, but he's still pretty close to mustard on it.
60.
Well, he was just barely in it. That could have been all wrong on the other side of that wire with the double 15. That would have ended the turn.
At one point I thought he was going back to the table to ring a local pizza restaurant to order a delivery. He was taking so long, and then the next leg it looked like he was trying to change the order.
140.
But as Eric was pointing out, that's not something he's trying to do to put Anderson off. That's just Mensur being Mensur, isn't it?
But yeah, he's played the same game for as long as he's played, and that's over a decade, easily 15 years. Same strategy, same style. And that's why he's good now, because he keeps doing the same things, and he's just getting better and better at what he does.
Switch down here.
139.
I checked through the record books. I think you've got a 100% record against him, John. He doesn't fool you, does he, Party?
Yeah, I can't really explain that. I think I had a good start in 2008 when I got him second round in the World Championship.
99. You require 62.
I just never look back. He's the only methodical player I think I've had success against.
42 for double 10. Back to his favourite double once more. 2 darts missed, and James Wade as surprised as most of us. But he will be back unless Mensur's got a party piece for us.
Well, he's not really firing how he would like, or anywhere near it to this point.
100. James required 20.
It's double 10 for James. Again. Goes to the left so he can come off the barrel and in. Well, now that's kicked to the left, so he has to go way to the left. And he's caught them anyway.
5 successive misses at double 10 from James Wade.
You know, we talk about Mensur being methodical. Well, James is slightly the same way, and it could be affecting Mensur a little bit. Double chop. Double 10.
Irony of ironies. As Mensur Suljovic hits James Wade's favourite double after the machine missed it 5 successive times, and just a hint of an ironic smirk from James Wade.
Third leg Mensur to throw first. Game on.
No doubt of that is utterly preposterous. But it's one apiece. Oh yes, that was the full Mensur Suljovic stalk effect on one leg as he hurled that last dart.
98.
And I like the conjuring hands to express his displeasure with the resulting throw.
Well, not exactly balletic, is it? But effective. With his second 140 of the match. Wade looking for his third. Comes down the board. 137 is good as.
37.
You know, his technique isn't one you'd want to teach somebody, but the reality is most people, when they start playing darts, have a very similar action where the kind of the pendulum and the foot comes up in the back, and you try and get that out of them as they progress, or they do themselves. But, it's just always stuck with Mensur, and he's made it work.
Well, one dart Peter Manley had something metronomic about his back leg, but by no means as pronounced as Mensur's.
We talk about it being a strange throw and action and all that, but we mean for a pro. It's a very common action for dart players around the world.
100. You require 101.
Well, this for the lead for the first time. Suljovic is looking at 101. So a pick. Double 14, he selects. Not many people have double 14 as their favourite double, but it was the double that knocked out Gary Anderson, and it's now putting 2-1 up against James Wade.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't want to hit the treble 13, would you, going on the 41? I think 2. But you see, he was right near the double. He was pretty much making sure of that, and he really executed the shot the way he wanted to. That's what you have to do, most of all in darts. Do what you're comfortable with.
James Wade has never failed to reach the quarterfinal at the World Match Play. This is 10th appearance, the previous 9.
100.
Got as far as the final 8 or beyond. 9 quarterfinals played therefore, and he's only lost twice at this stage to Ronnie Baxter and Simon Whitlock. And that is the first maximum of the match. Only a 6th of the week, mind, James Wade.
Well, it's somewhat belying his 101 tournament average.
Packed house here Friday night at the Arrows in Blackpool. Where this great tournament has been staged since 1994, and the inaugural year, the bald eagle Larry Butler swooped to defeat Dennis Priestley.
96, change your require 81.
No pressure on this. Perfect treble 19, double 12. Kind of blocking himself a bit. He'll go top right. Well, he went down there, and
69.
as a result, I think maybe deflected a little. Got the single.
Shouldn't be a problem, John, should it? With the score as it is in this leg.
As much as he's fond of double 10, you'd figure double 6 would be a natural.
100. Change your require 12.
Right down the line of sight. Well, now there could be a problem. No problem. Southern ends, James Wade. Levels up at 2 apiece.
Game on.
So he's not too fond of double 6. Double 3, good though.
Any double's good when you hit it, John, as you know. The Wade so far has had a dozen darts at double in this match and hit only twice.
And you mentioned the low number 180s, but he's had loads of 140s. 140 machine. He's up to 4 already here. And the 180. Mensur slow to get going, but he's starting to get his scoring going. Not too bad, 8 100s and 2 140s. The tempo of the game sort of instinctually makes you feel as if the scoring isn't there, because when you got a rat-a-tat-tat game going, it feels like the scoring's a bit better somehow. It's the points per second average we need.
Well, that'll put the average up. The third 140 of the match. Levels you devils in this leg, 261 apiece. Last leg before the break.
Wade making a good effort here to try and get that break and go in ahead at the first interval.
Remember, the winner of this game in the semi-finals tomorrow will play the winner of the final quarter-final coming up next between David Chisnell and Phil Taylor. Wade holding the aces in this leg. Does not need to go hunting a treble 17. He'll go looking for the one-pointer to lead tops.
Yeah, I like that. I get mad at Phil when he goes to the treble 17 and he's just teasing us. Why not just stay on the 20s? Makes sense.
140.
Well, there's a third. If you've got no intention of going for bull, why go for treble 17 in the first place? Wade, we know, looking for tops. Wade hits tops. And with a 13-dart leg against the darts, James Wade gets the salute out as the crowd go Garrity at the start of this quarter-final tie. James Wade is 3-2 up. On the cue, going round the Winter Gardens, it would stretch to Fleetwood.
James just barely misses answering the 180. Well, and you know, I think I can explain that. I'm sure Michael would have been favored in a sense, but there was probably a lot of doubts because he wasn't as composed as he is now as to whether he could handle the slow pace.
But this was prior to Van Gerwen's.
But that's what I'm getting at, though.
Revival.
The question mark would have been, can he deal with the slow pace? Because he was always a fast player, Michael, even faster in the past.
Well, it was also to do with the fact that Michael van Gerwen didn't look like he was really that good back then, John. This before he won the World Grand Prix, and then, well, the rest is history, isn't it?
Well, he has a champion's head now.
He has. Double 14 again for Mensur. Outside, inside.
Yeah, I almost felt like a slight move to the right would have helped in there, because he was sort of crowded on that flight path in.
Double 8.
80.
Well, you can't throw it any better than that without it going in.
So you require 14.
Yeah, and this is where his strategy is sort of makes life a little harder for him. I don't think double 7's the most difficult double. It's just the way it breaks down is horrible. It's right next to double 16, so
Thank you.
it's a good one to try and hit in terms of going right at it. And which he does. He says, hey, I hit it, didn't I? Give me a chance.
He relishes being the darting bad guy.
Well, he takes his time on a double at times. Calms himself down, just like Eric said in the before the match started. You know, that's what he does. He's never done anything any differently. It's not about slowing James down at all.
Well, we mentioned one dart piece of Manley. Really the darting pantomime villain par excellence. There's a space. There's a role for a darting pantomime villain. There's a situation vacant a little bit at the moment, John.
You have to be good enough to be up there to do it.
They're all too nice now.
140.
Oh, great answer from Wade.
Suljovic with that distinctive finger tapping. Many snooker players the same when addressing the cue ball. And Wade with that distinctive trigger movement of his own. Cocking the dart before firing at the treble 20.
Mensur, he certainly doesn't want to get broken back straight away, so he's making sure of this to get a good score, at least the one treble he wanted to start the turn. Now he'll be greedier. Wants the 140.
140. Mensur requires 76.
Well, let's see how he approaches this one. Normally would be 20s or 16s. So 20 for tops. Looks like a pretty good one to go over. But he doesn't get it up there. Pulled it, snatched it. He gives us the full explanation.
Still go out on double 19. Yes, double 18. It's not the orthodox approved route, but it reaches its starting destination nevertheless. And Wade breaks again to go 4-3 up with a 108.
James to throw first. Game on.
Exactly what you cited earlier, Rod, is one of James Wade's points of excellence. Those finishes in that range, especially in a situation to punish a missed double.
100.
The seething Suljovic. had a chance, but it has been a tale of breaks of throw, John, hasn't it? 7 legs completed and 5 of them have gone against the darts.
Yeah, and you know, I expect a lot of breaks of throws in this style of tournament, but normally it's when a guy runs a bunch of legs and there's a bunch of breaks along the way. This has been back and forth and very even in a sense.
Well, normally in a darts match it is who can make the key breaks of throw. In this match at the moment it might be who can make the key holds of throw.
140.
There's Wade here under pressure again on his own throw.
Three of them. That works. So a 180 answer would be what Mensur would be looking for. Get to 96. That would be a big threat. Now, he won't really be a threat.
60, danger equal 138.
.62 left, so treble 14 you expect Wade to be looking at here.
90.
Well, there's never been a 2-leg gap between the two players in this tie. Up to press. Wade is 2 darts away from changing that statistic.
He has more if he needs them.
48.
Touch. Double 10.
And it is 5-3 to James Wade.
Game on.
The 108 check out in the 7th leg. The break, then the hold to go 2 up.
140.
That's 108, James Wade's highest of the match. Suljovic a 101. Wade's had a 150 this week, 150. That's his
60.
highest of the week.
Good third dart. Well, I think one thing you can do when you're playing Mensur to help you with the pacing is not stand behind him when he's throwing, waiting to throw, because he kicks every dart, but you're tending instinctually to move towards the hockey as he's releasing and going to the board. But his leg comes up and then you kind of got to pause and stop, and it puts you right out of your own normal approach to the hockey. So I would recommend standing back a good 5-6 feet.
100.
Let him clear and then do your own normal approach. And, you know, for any kind of player, like with a kick.
100. Mensur equal 161.
I'd be happy he left 96 anyway. Wanted more, but 96, good outshot always. Good pressure to leave the save.
Mensur required 96.
First dibs at it though for the Serbian-born Austrian, 43 years old, Suljovic. Looking to reach his first major semi-final. Couldn't find the treble. That
60.
means Wade's back to 96.
96.
We've seen him hit double 18 once already, John, haven't we, at the end of the 108?
And it's his MO to punish in this circumstance. Well, he went for 2 doubles.
56.
And in that circumstance,
Mensur
yeah, why not?
36.
Although I would have, if it had been me, I would have liked to follow the first dart he threw, but for him, he likes going under, doesn't he? So that was not a good dart.
Just in the corner, Suljovic makes it 5-4.
That was a speedy double effort, wasn't it?
What?
Yeah.
125.
He can't be bowing to popular pressure, can he?
he was straight up and straight in.
100.
James Wade's second maximum on the match. It's 2 apiece on the maximum count.
Just one would do him.
60.
I'm not going to be too pleased if the Austrian can manage a 180.
He can't. James Wade has control of this leg and he has control of this match.
57. James Wade 136.
Into the treble 20, and that allows him to set up tops.
96.
12 darts thrown in this leg for James Wade, and he'll come back for double top with his 13.
Yeah, when you have the throw, that is just
60.
going to plan. I think that'll win you a lot of matches if you do that every time. Double top, and James Wade goes 6-4 ahead. In this match, very steady, very methodical, each player. Mensur making a match of it, but it's James Wade. Yes, favored, but not that heavily. I don't see it that big a difference. And Peter really, at times this year, has played just absolutely brilliant darts that would beat anybody. So, yeah, that's a pretty good value.
James Wade giving us full value.
Yeah, looking to get a break straight away from the break. And if he can do that, then he can start to try and run away, Rod. You know, that's what you're trying to do as a player. Okay, let's change what kind of a match this is.
And he go back to back. Oh! Agony, agony. Has had 2 televised 9-dart legs.
Not a bad attempt for a guy who's only had 8 180s in the whole tournament.
84.
No, it's a good point. James Wade has never been a prodigious 180 hitter, but nevertheless has got 2 9-dart legs. On TV, only 4 players have more than that.
27.
Taylor with 10, Barney 5, MBG 4, and AD Lewis 3.
Well, I do think it's fair to say, though, Rod, in past incarnations of James Wade, he was a heavier 180 scorer.
81.
Now he's more about the consistency of the 140s. Well, I was going to say consistency of finishing, but missed the 14, needs a 5 for the tops, which isn't a bad place to be to move to it.
34.
And of course, he probably had a lapse in concentration because Mensur not on a finish.
He's on the finish now, though, John, all right, isn't he? To some tune. Thank you very much and good night. 7-4. We have the temerity Mensur to hit a 180 in such circumstances, and James Wade, well, dismissed the threat.
Well, let's be fair to Mensur now. It was his leg he started. I mean, he was just trying to not make it look so bad, you know.
140.
There's the way that Wade just dismissed the maximum as an utter irrelevance. 7-4 to James Wade. The average of Wade now tickling the ton.
Well, I think that 180 got to James.
60.
He missed 1 dart. It is his favorite after all. We see James 10 points ahead in the 3-dart averages.
James Wade tonight on double 10, John. 3 hits, 7 misses.
100.
So, it's a myth. Or is he just off?
It's abnormal. That is an what we call a statistical abnormality, John. I'm sure normal service will be resumed by the machine.
So bad news for the Austrian. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
60.
Away 3 in front now, John, and looking like going 4 in front, having a mid-match surge.
Yeah, like I was saying, that winning that last leg, getting that break, it just changes what kind of a match it is. Now
57.
it's about a guy trying to chase rather than a battle. And the mentalities have to change for both each player.
45.
Yeah, if you're hoping to restrain an opponent, it's a lot easier to do that when you're 4 in front, not 4 behind, as Wade looks at tops to go 4 up. And that is 4 up, and it's 8-4 to James Wade.
Yeah, he's just going into cruise control, isn't he? He looks kind of strutting along even as he walks back, and the confidence is there. You know, it's only fair. He would have had some doubts walking onto this stage tonight in his own mind, even though if he felt like he's going to win, he might not know how it might go in his head, and I think he's really settled in now.
James Wade, over the years, over his career, nearly a decade now at the top, has become an ace opportunity taker. You yourself, John, regarded as an ace opportunity taker. When the chances came to win big tournaments, World Championship, you were very adept at taking it. Wade similarly, in tournaments when Phil Taylor had been knocked out, he'd go rampaging through and take the title, 7 majors.
Well, yeah, the flip side of this sort of player, and myself included for sure, is, well, you can get ahead and then you lose your drive, your focus sometimes. So we'll see what happens here. But I think because he was tense most of the early part of this match, I think he will continue to drive forward and end ahead of Mensur, unless Suljovic finds an answer. Ups his game.
Indeed, Suljovic here averaging, give or take, the same as he did against Gary Anderson.
25.
It's about a point below, but that was enough against Anderson, who was finding it an impossibility to deal with what Suljovic was throwing at him in terms of the pace of play. It hasn't worried Wade one iota.
No, and here he is in his dream range. Seems to do so well. 7 for tops now for a 107 with Mensur on 42.
87.
Well, disappointed with that. Expected
42.
more.
Is it going to be 14 double 14 here? It is, you know. And he gets it. Well, not since the days of the Belgian dartist Eric Claris have we seen such idiosyncratic finishing. He used to go out on 65, treble 13, double 13 and all sorts, John, didn't he?
135.
Yeah, he was probably the most creative finisher in the history of the PDC.
Great word, John. Exactly the right word to describe it. Creative.
It's not necessarily wrong. There's a lot of valid ways to try and go for things if you put some thought into it, but why would you? I guess if it keeps you interested in throwing and you have fun with it, you're going to play better. I guess that's one answer. You're not going to make friends with too many referees, though.
Or our dynamic duo of spotters, Keith Keller and Eric Bristow, who follow the shots and do their research of what players are going to do in different circumstances and situations.
140.
Eric was a great player until he fell down the ladder, and I don't mean the ranking ladder.
It's Eric Claris, not Eric Bristow, I hasten to add. Yeah.
Oh, was it? Oh.
Oops. The lot? No, not quite.
140. Going to require 86.
Yeah, he broke his arm, didn't he? Eric Claris. Anyway, double 16 here for James Wade, and that's a lovely clean 2-dot kill. And the 4-leg buffer is re-established.
Game on. 89.
Really important leg for the Austrian here. It is quite a difference if he gets broken in this. To be down 10-5 would really not look too good. 9-6. You still feel he has a way to worm his way back in. And we were mentioning James Wade being one of the best opportunists of all time in darts. Well, you'd have to say, I know he's not one of the best, but certainly Mensur is that style of a player. He doesn't blow you away with the scoring or anything too fancy. He's a grinder. He takes his opportunities.
James Wade has taken that one. Well, you made a very good point. The style of players make you think different things about how well they're playing. Wade here is averaging 103.62. That's more than Michael Van Gerwen averaged last night. And yet you kind of don't feel he's producing anything startling. The statistics say this is a performance of world class from Wade.
Well, it is.
Make no mistake. But you take my point, John, don't you? Sometimes you don't think Wade is playing that well because he just doesn't look flashy, and that's not a criticism.
Well, those are the most dangerous players, the consistent ones. And that's the only other way you can get an average like that, is to be incredibly consistent. Won't get the 170. No flash again, but he'll probably take it out in 4 or 5 darts if and he will get a chance.
96.
So down to 74. And that'll be for that break, the go-ahead 10-5 coming into this interval. Mensur, though, once again, hey, would he go for another 180 on his throw to try? No, he's sensible enough.
39. Danger requires 74.
Well, treble 18 gives him double 10. 2 in his hand. Only one needed. Double 10. Wade is net. And Wade gets the 10. 10-5 up on Mensur Suljovic. He only needs 6 more legs. It's a very, very authoritative, classy performance from the machine. His current effort was by Wade himself against Kyle Anderson.
96.
So 2 averages, if he can maintain this, John, of over 103 in the same event.
Well, you want to talk about consistency.
100.
His match average after 15 legs is almost identical to his tournament average. It's really unbelievable. They can be so consistent a player.
140.
And start to wonder now, is it after the Lord Mayor's show for Mensur Suljovic after that wonderful win over Gary Anderson, and the one you mentioned in the first round, John, over Terry Jenkins, which was not so dusty either.
Yeah, it was pretty overlooked, and it's a good win.
Without a doubt.
57.
Terry Jenkins still a very awkward first round opponent, make no mistake. Wade looking for the lot here to leave 24, can leave 64.
100.
Can leave 104.
So, a good score needed here. Mensur to put pressure, and if he gets a 180, he leaves 28. Oh!
120.
Well, he'd be disappointed with that, because you can bet he knew what he was trying to leave.
4 tops. The 4 tops.
Each on the 16 flag. James Wade. 17 flag Mensur to throw.
Salute the machine. A 104. He's had a 108 as well. Just underlining our point of him deadly finishing in that range.
Even this finish is almost spot on his tournament average. 104.
Spooky, John. Spooky. 103 and a half. Well, 104.
129.
What a wonderful outfit, John. And they ask him where he purchased that garment.
60.
It's a really good performance, this, from James Wade in every regard. Scoring has been superb from Wade, John, hasn't it?
Just consistently performing,
60.
getting the trebles every turn, at least one. That's how you want to play the game. It makes it easy. Well, and part of it really is the finishing, the killer finishing. Let me see. Only 42%, but that doesn't tell you really about those 104s and 108s and the timing of them.
Just one leg, John, wasn't there, where James Wade missed 5 at double 10 and Suljovic went out on that same target. That was very early on in the match. Look, if you want to find some fault somewhere, you can find something, but I'm being very, very picky when I bring that up, and his performance has been excellent, absolutely excellent.
Well, that was in the, adjusting to the stage phase of it. It wasn't even really going yet. So with this length of a game, you wouldn't worry about that too much.
No.
In the first round you would, though. You can't afford a slow start.
100.
Relatively speaking.
38.
Well, will he go straight at double 19 here, James Wade? Well, you're going to go for double 17 now, James. Yes. Well, or is he going to still persist with trying to get to double 10 by looking for 14? No, going for the double this time. Oh, he gets it to the last dart in hand. Well, the splitting strategy had to be aborted after a loose dart.
Well, and why even bother in the first place? You might get 3 darts for your double if you stay at the original one. Just that reason alone is reason enough for me not to ever split.
It's interesting, that, isn't it? I mean, Stephen Bunting, when he won the Lakeside BDO World Championship a couple of years back, split it everything like that. If he left 38, he split.
Well, I think I said early in the match about, you do what you're comfortable with, and if something's working, you go with it.
Yes.
That is a certainty as well. You don't change something just because somebody else says it doesn't make sense.
No, the bullet that year, that was his MO, and he stuck to it. He didn't deviate from it, and it was an extremely successful strategy, enabling him to become the world champion. He played really well in the first round here, Stephen Bunting, as well. The unluckiest of first round losers. He went out to a really strong performance. Ian White averaged 103.5 against Stephen Bunting, who averaged 101.5 himself.
120.
What can you do, Stephen? Can you do?
Well, the only consolation for Bunting on that score is that at least it wasn't a one-off from Ian, was it? He came back and played. Great year at the match play for Ian White.
Yeah, really good. Another terrific performance from Ian White last night as well. And 13-12 up he was on Michael van Gerwen before losing. And Suljovic arches his back.
100.
Launches the missile. 7 adrift though. It's a long way back from there.
140. Mensur, you require 141.
Well, good second dart. It's not going to help him finish this turn, but he should be back for a chance to break.
96. James, you require 161.
He needs any leg he can get, so it's important that he do so if James misses this 161. Just piling the pressure on, though, is James.
99. Mensur, you require 45.
Well, who knows? 17? Oh dear. Well, now he's got to go 3, hasn't he? Well,
you would think so.
11 left, so I think so, John. You think so?
Thank you.
You can never be 100% sure with Mensur.
Just don't hit the double or the treble.
Or the 17 he was aiming for in the first place. For the double thereof.
41. Danger requires 62.
Which could have been easier if he went for bull last start. It's double 10 though. He likes that finish, doesn't he? Yes. Double 5.
52. Mensur, you require 4.
2 twos. Looking for the double deuce. Now for the house of the man.
In charge in the 18th play.
Mensur celebrates as only he can.
19
A dozen legs to Wade, half a dozen to Mensur Suljovic.
He celebrates as only he is, and I think the house is mostly against him here tonight. Well, it was a well-hit double 1 anyway.
It was.
You know, one player that hasn't been mentioned that you sort of like when he approaches the doubles and steps back and everything is the great Kevin Painter, who made a habit of stepping back and approaching the double, and also infuriating many people.
81.
Hasn't got the finger-licking, snarling technique of the artist, though. Kevin trying to get his way back into the elite ranks and qualify for
100.
TV tournaments. One of the great entertainers of the golden era of darts. The artist.
140.
On the face of it, this seems a very easy situation for James Wade to be in, but sometimes it's not all that easy, John, to maintain a level of focus and standard of play when you're winning apparently very comfortably.
Oh, and no better example than in the Peter Wright quarterfinal when he got well ahead.
140.
He just sort of stammered a bit and it didn't do it, and then he refocused and he put it away. But a perfect example of what could happen wrong for James if he doesn't maintain focus.
Well, he almost took a seat in the front row there before finding the treble 20.
So you require 161.
I looked for a moment he was going to sit down next to Sammy there and throw the dart. The ball for Mensur!
136.
Not far away.
Danger require
Not far away.
Well, he won't be able to break right back, and he will be able to leave tops. And
100.
maybe all he needs to do. A lot of pressure here still on Mensur.
Try and get to double 14 from here, Mensur. Double 8 will do. That's a bit more picturesque. Getting there. Double 8. No. No.
Danger require 40.
Yes. 13-6. Wade within 3 now. Cruising along.
James to throw back.
And that had a little bit of a bounce to it, that stride from the machine there as he loped up to the hockey to start leg 20. It's an incredible record he's got here. If he wins this match, it will be the 8th time he's reached the semi-finals of the World Matchplay. John, just give us an appraisal of how much of an achievement that is.
Yeah, it is.
140.
Unbelievable is a good word. The only thing that even makes it seem like it's not a great achievement is Phil's existence.
100.
But everything is dwarfed by that, isn't it? His record.
You take that out of the equation, and yeah, it's really fantastic darts performances that lead
60.
to that sort of a statistic.
Well, only 4 players have ever beaten James Wade on the Winter Garden stage. Phil Taylor 5 times, 4 of them in finals. Raymond van Barneveld, Simon Whitlock and Ronnie Baxter. Ronnie not in the field this year in his favourite local tournament. Nor Wes Newton. There's a few familiar faces.
140.
Not here.
It's hard to get a ticket.
Very hard.
100.
That's why
61.
the tournament has such standing in professional darts. Just to get in is good going.
105.
Darts utilising the outer ball to leave a two-dart combo, but here goes Wade again on one of these medium-range finishes. He's looking for double top.
96.
Well, he's missed double top a few times at the end of those combinations, John, and each time dragging it down low.
But the key is he's always had the chance. He's always had the treble to set it up. There's a good double, though, for Mensur Suljovic. At least he can go into this interval with a positive note.
That's a very appealing start to this session. Suljovic. Well, the back so firmly against the wall that he's almost going through the wall. He's hit 4 maximums, so is James Wade.
There may be a few more 180s in the next match. Just guessing.
What makes you think that, John?
Just Chizzy, actually.
Well,
Phil might get a few, but Chizzy is bound to get a 10.
Dave Chisnall topped the 180 stats in the Premier League.
117.
He came agonisingly close to the final. Chisnall's had 21 80s this week so far, John. Phil Taylor's had 12. I bet you can't guess who's got the most this year in the match play. Maximum, Dr. Press.
56. Danger required 161.
I stopped, yes.
25 that individual has got.
65.
Give you the answer at the end of this leg. Some parts silenced, staggeringly. Double 14, Mensur. Nails it. Back legs, John.
13-6, 13-8. Ian White.
Hey! Ian White, with 25 maximums. Not enough to get him through to this, beyond this stage in the competition. Some going that, John, isn't it? In 3 games.
Very good. Approaching the old as many maximums as doubles you hit, which is a very hard feat to do at even in a match, let alone a tournament.
92.
Well, Suljovic has got the gap back down to 5. Was, as I mentioned, as big as 7. I tell you what, he's starting to find the treble a little bit here. Mensur Suljovic,
140.
making only his 2nd appearance at the World Match Play. His first in 2013, ended in a round 1 loss to Raymond van Barneveld.
99.
Never been beyond a quarter-final of a big tournament.
Well, he does get some tough draws, doesn't he? This year started with the
60.
bull, Terry
Danger
Jenkins.
required 170.
James Wade looking to finish with the bull here, John. Suljovic, yes,
58.
finished with the bull, literally, and then the world champion. Needs a couple of trebles here, really.
Well, one it actually gives him an outside shot. He hasn't been too good at getting the treble, though, to set up those outs.
100.
Not as good as James has been.
Danger required 112.
And this is a perfect example of that. Well, okay, don't hit the single one. Well, he did get the treble, but he won't be able to leave double because he's missed 2 singles.
Mensur required 116.
Well, the last start really was particularly sloppy, I think he'd agree. Needs to sit one on top of that, which is exactly what he has done to leave double 18, and that is 3 on the top for Suljovic.
Mensur Suljovic.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
23rd leg, Mensur to throw first. Game on.
dear.
Well,
Wouldn't like to be on the wrong end of that gaze of James Wade, would you, John?
no, it's in complete
60.
agreement, apparently, though.
I think incomplete, ironic and sarcastic agreement. But Wade only with himself to blame, really, for getting in that mess.
Well, he should have had a dart for double on that turn because he got the treble he needed. Not only didn't he get the double, he didn't even leave the double. So that takes a little bit of pressure off your opponent when they see you be that sloppy.
Well, 13-6 became 13-7, became 13-8, became 13-9, and Suljovic with the darts here, and he holds it, become 13-10. At what point do you start to think the outcome is now in doubt?
2 more legs.
I'll come back to you after the 24th.
140.
If he can hold his throw, sure, okay, now. But if he gets another break in the next leg, then that would really be a significant threat to take the match.
He's playing well enough now, though, isn't he?
57.
He is playing well enough. It's just whether he can make up the deficit.
Well, it's a classic case of loss aversion.
Little down. Another to leave double 18, the target he hit in the last leg. But even that, 76, 2-dart combination for Mensur Suljovic to get back within 3 and extend his winning streak to 4 straight legs.
140. Mensur, you require 76.
He's looking for treble 16 to leave double 14. Now 20 for tops. I'll tell you what. I tell you what.
24 leg
James Wade needs to just mind his step.
Well, this is his chance to put his foot down, and he needs to.
Well,
It didn't look that convincing, though, getting that done.
it didn't.
It looked a bit scrambly to me.
He just needs to mind his work. The gap is down to 3 legs. Mind the gap. What is happening here? Suljovic has awoken.
Couldn't quite egg that last start in, but a good turn. I think he's trying for the old 3-140s trick, Rod.
100.
Leave 81 and hopefully get a chance to break. Of course, James still has a chance. Also, it's a 12, but it's fading
100.
fast. He'll need a 161 to do that now. Well, he probably should have went to the 17s that third dart. You could tell he kind of looked like he wanted to switch, but he knew the 19s wouldn't be good, and he didn't think it through.
97. And so you require 161.
Long range attempt. Not on. Well, this would be a nerve settler for James Wade.
James requires 64.
Hasn't won a leg since the 19th leg of this match. And he's only got 1 dart in his hand. He's looking at double top. He's missed it.
24. And so you require
Huge
56.
opportunity now for Mensur to really give himself a chance in the match.
Just evaded the double. He's left tops. In the double wouldn't have been disastrous, wouldn't have done 12. But... Just coming back to you, John, at the end of the 24th leg, you now believe the outcome is in doubt.
Oh, most certainly. All the momentum's with Suljovic. And he's got the throw.
25th leg, Mensur to throw pass. Game on.
He's got the darts here.
40.
That could be the undoing of the comeback. James just about broadly smiling as he threw that first dart.
140.
Well, the bookmakers don't really believe your momentum theory carries much weight, John, I'm afraid. They still make James Wade 16-1 on to win this match.
But they only set the odds, they don't actually bet.
Well, it's a very good job as a current player you're not allowed to, John, isn't it? Suljovic fires in his 21st 140 of this match.
Ooh.
38.
Oh, a bit flingy that turn. The third man trying to get into the game.
84.
Well, he's certainly become the darling of the Darterati, hasn't he, Mensur Suljovic? They're starting to learn to love the Austrian.
Mensur required 137.
Gentle Suljovic. He wants 137. To go within one leg. To go within one leg, incredible. Turn of events, he was 7 legs adrift in this match.
45. James required 170.
92 for Suljovic. I'll stake it, he'll go for the ball. He won't be a treble 20 man in this situation. It'll surely be a safety first.
Yep, most players play it that way these days. I'm not convinced of it anymore myself, but that is a great first dart. If he goes for 10 or 6, well, we know he's going 14 double 14, so let's not even talk about it.
Double 14, and the match is then on a knife edge.
64.
Well, Wade has got to get his act together here. This is the time. Now is the time. Double 10. Double 10. That is the moment. Seize the moment. Suljovic had one down at double 14. It would have got him back within a leg. But like the champion he is, Wade saw the opportunity. Not only did he see it, he took it. And that's given him some valuable breathing space. He's 3 ahead again.
100.
He was lecturing the audience about where they reside as well. Get behind me, lads, get behind me. But perhaps the shouting from Mensur is what inspired James. It prompted him.
To be fair, they pay the money, they can cheer who they like. They're not cheering against Wade, are they? They're cheering Mensur. I mean, you know, they're cheering Suljovic. Fair enough.
Well, you know, it's a singles event in any case. You're not here. It's not a World Cup or anything like that. It's about a player, 2 players playing darts. Who do you like better?
100.
Although, that said, there is nothing wrong with being proud of a fellow countryman doing well.
45.
Flying the Canadian flag. James Wade with his Union Jack flights, looking for the red bit, looking for a 4-leg advantage.
60.
Well, if he'd stopped the game, if it'd been a first to 13 game, John, Wade would have won easy 13-6, and he'd have gone off stage thinking, yeah, I feel good. If he comes off here winning, say, 16-12, how's he going to feel then?
141.
Still good?
He'll be happy. He won't be worried. And he's always been in these sorts of matches in any case. You know, he gets there at the very end. It doesn't matter to him. He gets there.
Great setup from James Wade. Leading talks. His average is just dipped under the 100. Having been around about 103 for much of this match.
131.
My goodness. Needs to go, man. Gonski. 15-11. Typical Wade in many ways here. As soon as he was threatened, he's reacted to it. It is typical James Wade.
Well, we did discuss, you know, the possibility of a lapse in concentration. And as well as Mensur played to come back, there was a lack of focus in James's game at that point. So, as we alluded to the Peter Wright quarterfinal and what happened to him, it seems to have happened to James as well. And now he's regrouped and he's looking to cross the line comfortably.
100.
Well, now Wade could be a couple of turns away from the semi.
100.
And Mensur struggling to try and hold and to stay alive in the match. And should he lose, you'd have to give him credit. He's showing up. He's played darts.
100. January 161.
So James Wade within 2 darts in the semi-final, and Suljovic can't clean up the 154, and he cannot. So Wade looks like he survived a late wobble and a rally from the Austrian to close in on the semi-final of the World Matchplay Championship, and for the 8th time in his career, James Wade is in the final 4 at the Winter Gardens. He holds off Mensur Suljovic to win by 5 at 16-11.